Good morning, everyone. This is the morning of October the 6th, 2025. Coming to talk a bit about American Pacific, and most importantly, the vision for American Pacific going forward in the months and years to come. I'm going to touch on the Madison press release as well from last week, talking about the drill permit that we've received. But let me start with sort of the bigger picture here. And this is something that we've been working on in the past few months. One of the challenges here, and I'm going to make some forward-looking statements, so I've linked our disclaimer down below to our forward-looking statements. One of the challenges here is we're a public company, so at times, like the last few months, we're incredibly busy behind the scenes, but it's often difficult to communicate some of the things that we're doing until they come to fruition. I'm going to strike some balance here today and give you an insight into what we're working on while staying compliant, but really giving the vision for what American Pacific is going to be going forward. I founded American Pacific and took it public in March of 2018. And during that time, with the help of the team, mostly the geologic team, with Eric and Ken and Zach, Corbin, all the guys over there, we put together some fantastic projects all across the Western US. So there's 4 projects down in Nevada. We've got the Palmer asset up in Alaska, and then we've got Madison down in Montana. And during what's been a challenging few years for the junior mining sector, in the past 7 years, we spent roughly $80 million Canadian in exploration between ourselves and then the partners that we brought in. There's been $80 million spent on these projects. Proud of that fact. That's an awful lot of work that's been done. We've advanced a lot of those projects. Palmer is a great example of that. We've seen that resource grow substantially since we got involved, even on the back of mostly infill drilling. What it's allowing us to do now, as we've gotten into this more robust metals market, is we're now getting this opportunity to reap value from these assets. We have had inbound interest on every single project that we have in the portfolio, bar none. And one of the discussions has been American Pacific is project heavy. We love all the projects that we have, but there's so much money to go around. So how do we create value out of those? And that is going to be by selling some of those assets, by spinning some of those assets out, taking equity and cash back into American Pacific, and then in specific instances, dividending that out to shareholders. We are going to look to take where we have the Nevada assets, the Montana asset, the Alaska asset, and essentially break this into 3 companies. That's what we're looking to do. And so in the coming months, weeks and months ahead, you're likely to see some of these transactions that we're looking to get across the line. Nothing is imminent today, but we are having numerous discussions where we'll be able to create value for American Pacific shareholders and for American Pacific, the entity, by transacting on these assets. And we look forward to doing that here in the coming weeks and months. Let me talk about Madison briefly, because that statement's going to lend to some questions about the specific assets themselves. Madison. So we've received the drill permit now. We've done an awful lot of work. We're incredibly excited about the now porphyry potential at Madison, along with the skarn potential that's always been there. But the porphyry is new. It feels like a bit of a shiny thing for the market at the moment that people are excited about. Our plan was to get this permit, get after it, begin drilling. We have taken inbound interest on Madison as well. So I'll let that sink in for a second. We haven't gone out and we haven't looked for a partner. We haven't looked for a new strategic shareholder on Madison, but some of those conversations are coming to us. And they're coming to us from significant companies that needs our attention to run to ground. And so those conversations are happening as we speak. Once those conversations have been run to ground, we'll make the decision as to do we pick up and start drilling immediately, or do we have somebody to work with on that? And so give us some time and space here while we sort that through, but that should all happen in relatively short order. Nice to see inbound interest. It's exciting for us for sure, and I think it's going to be incredibly exciting for the market if it's a transaction that makes sense. It's not something that we need to do, but it's certainly something that's worth listening to as well. There'll be significant news flow from here to the end of the year. We've been a little bit quiet as we're doing all of this in the background, but the feeling is now there's going to be a lot of work going forward, and that we're going to be able to press release and communicate on. So expect to see more of me, both in the media and on these types of videos talking about news that we have. And I look forward to communicating more with the market, especially in this more robust market, to you really move American Pacific where it belongs, as to one of the forefront companies is in the junior mining industry. We've certainly been there before, and we can certainly be there again, especially with all that's planned behind the scenes. I look forward to that, as I'm sure do you. I appreciate the time. I appreciate the patience while we're working on these things, and we're going to get after it. Thank you.